So I'm speaking, as Alan said, today about the EEGNet data and analytics platform. Thanks already to those of you who've signed up for an account at eegnet.loris.ca. How are we doing for sound? Is that better? Okay. So thanks to those who've signed up already. Today we've had a few new accounts. And Patrick? Okay. Can you get back to me in a second on that? And we'll continue on. So for an overview of the EEGNet data platform and analytics hub today, I'll talk about platform context, I'll give a brief demonstration and let everybody know how to get started with the platform. So as an open data platform and analytics hub, EEGNet has in the last 3 years launched a platform with EEG-BIDS standardized analysis-ready data, as Scott McCaig just described. It's launched the most advanced EEG visualization tool in the field, online and in a browser-based platform, provided head annotation workflows, as has been detailed by the head team, and open source analytics mounted on CBrain, which my colleague Brian Caron walked us through earlier. Together, this builds an open platform for researchers to come together and build machine learning ready data sets. And in conjunction with the Global Brain Consortium and the Canadian Open Neuroscience Platform, this leads to ready translation and applications in global health. So if you haven't already, please do go to eegnet.loris.ca and click request an account. We've had already 5 or 15 interested people today, so thank you for logging in and following along. This grant, just to say, has been supported by Brain Canada, by Canary, by the Ludmer Center, and it's a Canadian network of researchers across the country, coast to coast, led out of McGill University, together with Brock and Laval Cerveau Institute. So EEGNet is also part of the core of the Global Brain Consortium as part of the Global EEG Norms Group, led by Pedro Valdez-Sosa, who'll be speaking to us via video later today, and also Jorge Bosch-Bayard, who'll be presenting this afternoon. So at the grant start 3 years ago, the initial pillars of EEGNet were to build a data platform with open EEG workflows, supporting data sharing and analytics. Much of this work has been completed, and we are completing some of the extensions to this platform. So together, using the infrastructure which Alan already went through this morning and Brian as well addressed, EEGNet brings together Loris and CBrain, a data hub and an analytics hub. Both are open source infrastructures, and also brings together EEG-BIDS standardization and tools into this platform with head annotation for dissemination to other platforms. So again, Loris serving as the data hub and CBrain serving as the analytics hub is the core ecosystem. These are both open source platforms and form the core of EEGNet. This initiative began initially when we began supporting EEG data in Loris through the M&I Open Intracranial EEG Atlas in 2018, started with Birgit Frauscher and John Gottman. That was followed by the IEEG Sleep Atlas in 2021, and we've incrementally built out some of these features through additional projects culminating in EEGNet. We've also built out the Cuba Human Brain Mapping project led by Pedro Valdez-Sosa, and that included the overlay of EEG and MRI data as well. So the basic infrastructure which Alan walked through earlier consists of Loris with many different open source stack elements. All this tech comes together in an open data hub built on the Loris project. And through that deployment, we've been able to launch this platform over the last 3 years and are now moving into extensions for signal annotation and head endorsement. Some of these objectives have come through in the metrics that you see here. Currently, we host 8, I think 9 as of this week, data sets. And we're looking, of course, to grow our user base and to grow data sets and to grow tools, of course, on the analytics platform. As part of the Canadian Open Neuroscience Platform, we build on the infrastructure built through that initiative, particularly in ethics toolkits and in governance. So that's also been touched on earlier today. And the research assets of EEGNet are also cross-linked on the Canadian Open Neuroscience portal. I think if you go there now, almost all the data sets are listed at portal.comp.ca if you just search for EEGNet. And also tools will be cross-linked there as well. We also list a larger set of community tools and data sets on our portal, and those are available as community resources on eegnet.org. So additional parts of the EEGNet ecosystem include the development of tools. My colleague Jorge Bosch-Bayard will go into this in detail later today. Many of these are mounted on CBrain. One example not covered in other presentations is a brainstorm tool based on the work of Sylvain Baillet and encapsulated or containerized for deployment on high-performance computing portals such as CBrain by one of our EEGNet colleagues based at Laval-Cerveau University. The latest release just came out, I think, 3 weeks ago, so please do go check that out on CBrain if that's of interest. We also have additional toolkits in development as part of EEGNet, and these include the study design analysis scripts and notebooks designed for researchers who are working with smaller data sets and who are looking for more local solutions. These are open Python notebooks that will be launching more publicly early 2025, so stay tuned for more EEGNet open resources coming. One of the standardization tools that we also are going to do a release of later this summer is the EEG-BIDS wizard, which was piloted initially in 2021. This combines a tool that can work on any system, that's Windows, Linux, Macs, as a standalone tool to enable people to BIDSify or convert their data easily. We provide templates, we provide standardization toolkits, and there's the option to load your data into a data platform like Loris as well. Currently, we're supporting SET and EDF, and it's built on the EEG-BIDS libraries, and everything is using community standard open toolkits. So as EEGNet moves forward with some of these different branches of the initiative, we're also increasing the community focus with outreach and presentations, and we're also continuing on with platform development on events, annotations, versioning, and extensions. So as I move into the demo part of this presentation, again, this is going to be based on what is currently live in production and available to you at eegnet.loris.ca. So this is all available for later viewing if you'd like to review on the YouTube channel of the Global Brain Consortium. We definitely encourage you to check it out there. And I'll begin with an abbreviated clip of what can be found there, just as an introduction. So this should autoplay.
To request access to EEGNet, click the link to request an account and register to receive an email with your login credentials. Remember to review and accept the terms of use before you log into EEGNet. The dashboard summarizes the data sharing and analytics resources and workflows available through the EEGNet platform hosted on Loris, an open source database built at the McGill Center for Integrative Neuroscience. Recent activity on EEGNet analytics tools mounted on the CBrain distributed processing portal are displayed in the top right corner. A visual breakdown of the datasets or projects gives different views of the composition and size of data available on the EEGNet platform. Click on the label of a dataset to learn more in the project information panel below, including publications, how to cite this dataset, and task descriptions. To view the EEG signal data, click through or use the menu bar to access the Electrophysiology browser to view the session recordings from any project dataset, raw or derivative. All available recordings can be reviewed in the Electrophysiology browser module. Search for the recordings of interest and select the dataset type in the linked column, raw, derivative, or both. For a single session or visit, scroll down to view the signal plot and its interactive features, metadata, and a basic electrode map in 2D or 3D view. All downloadable files are available under the signal plot. When viewing one EEGNet recording at a time, you can use the interactive signal plot to review and edit recording events and tag specific events for all channels of a recording with specific head or score tags. Click Show Event panel to view all the events in the current viewing window. Press the I button to hide and show events. The Tag button shows any head tags associated with this particular event. Press the third button to edit the event. Hover over head tags to view additional information. You can add and remove head tags already used on this dataset and score artifact tags with this menu.
All right, that was our brief demo. Can everybody still hear me? Okay. I'm going to try and do a live moment or two. So thank you. So if you do log in, you'll see from the front page that, let me just go in here, that we have the interactive plots, as you can see, the projects available here with interactive data or interactive views on the metadata. And live on the production platform, you can also go in through the signal, and I'm not sure if this is going to work, but navigate pretty directly, change the number of signals that you'd like to view at a glance, and skip through, which is something that is pretty new for online browsers on the web in terms of a web-facing portal that everybody can access and log into. So if you'd like to see, for example, some of your outlier channels, you can use the stack function and identify pretty quickly that what's happening here is that channel C10, which is highlighted, is one that you'd probably QC out of your batch. You can also increase the amplitude and set filtering, for example, and I'm going to remove that. But and then when you'd like to identify, for example, something in the signal, you can identify part of that of the time segment and zoom in on it quite precisely. So we're also going to use the sliders here to move through time and show a different part of the signal. And this is live on production, and this is what anybody who's requesting an account today can access right away. You can also download the signal and take a look at these. So I'll reset that and also show some of the interactive aspects of the electrode map as well. So what this video was also showing was the ability to show events, add events, and show head endorsements. So I'll skip back to slides for that for just a moment. But before I do, I'll also show this is some of the imaging data that's also available on the platform. If you do look at EEGNet data today, you can actually go in and take a look live in 3D effectively at some of the brain scans that are also available with the EEG data. And those are available for download on the platform as well. So I'm going to skip back to the slides. And we've looked at the dashboard just now, and we've looked at some of the electrophysiology browser modules. I would encourage you to go through and add an event. For example, try tagging an eye blink. And we have people in the room today and the help channel on Mattermost if anyone gets stuck or has trouble accessing these features. You can also associate a head tag with an event the same way and play with the visualization as I just showed you some of this. Next, we're going to look at endorsing head tags. So this is a feature that really enables machine learning bootstrapping from the datasets on EEGNet. And this is one of our goals, is building these out over the next year. So you can endorse tags that are at the instance level or at the dataset wide level. And I'd encourage you to go in and take a look at that on the platform. And the last thing I'm going to show is the data query tool. So this is basically how data is exported from the platform. You can curate a data set, you can curate a cross-section of data across data sets, export it, send it to CBrain for processing on some of the toolkits, and or just download it for your own use. As well as you can save a query so that other colleagues can come back and recreate the data set that you actually curated. So I'll go back to the platform for that. An example of that is going to be, if I go to load existing query, you can run this and load in a query already. And I can go run it, and there's the results. If I want to download just the metadata table, I can do that, or I can click export results to CBrain and paste my token to authenticate me, and then with one click, export it to the CBrain processing portal. So some of these features, we're developing some advanced automations on them, but that's the gist of the platform. And we've been live since November, so we're trying to bring this to a more global audience, and we would definitely love to hear from you as to your feedback. For that, we also have a module called the issue tracker, in case anyone would like to flag issues or bugs or anything that they find on the platform. We'd love to hear from you. So that's a brief demonstration of the platform. I'll go ahead to just again encourage people to sign up. And from there, now that you've seen the platform, here's how else you can engage with it beyond just requesting an account. And I'll just stand up to finish this part. So if everyone can still hear me? Yeah? You can let us know about your data sets and tools if you'd like to contribute data sets, if you'd like to contribute tools. You can easily scan the QR code or just go to eegnet.org and get in touch on our contact page. We're also looking for those who'd like to help us annotate and build these machine learning ready data sets. So please do engage with us to get involved in that effort. There are other options as well in the EEGNet ecosystem for sharing your data. There's not just the EEGNet platform, which, as you saw, allows you to visualize, annotate, and connect to analytics. You can also share via the Canadian Open Neuroscience Platform portal, which I mentioned already. And then just to note that we will help you prepare and send us your data. Usually we walk through a process of standardization with researchers with a few of our toolkits, which I've mentioned before. And we do require citation, but of course authorship is not guaranteed with data sharing. As well, we recommend people consult the Canadian Open Neuroscience Platform Ethics Toolkit, since of course data sharing begins with consent. And just a recap of some of the features of the platform with the EEGNet, it really does provide that boost for data sets that you'd like to release open, and you'd like to have people really understand and explore and discover online. So moving on from there, we definitely would love to hear from those of you here today and your colleagues. Get in touch to prepare and send us your data, and we can provide you with all sorts of toolkits. And so just to sum up, this is how we built the EEGNet Open Data Platform and Analytics Hub with EEG-BIDS standardized analysis-ready data sets with visualization, head annotation, and linked to a host of analytic tools on the CBrain platform, with the goal of producing these machine learning-ready annotated data sets for applications in global health with the Global Brain Consortium. So thanks to our team, mainly based at McGill University, and thank you very much for your time today.